Hi everybody, I'm Mark McLean. Shave of the day time is at hand. I am ready. Hopefully you guys are ready as well. First off, my hat's off and time out for all the folks along the coast, stretching all the way, of course, from Texas on up because of the hurricanes that have been inundating those areas. We want to wish you each and every one a safe time at this particular moment, and we hope everything turns out okay. We're thinking of you guys, and we want you to know that positively, and we're sending you love and light. And so guys, if you gals as well, if you are into any type of prayer, whatever you're into, then please put these guys on a pedestal and think of them. Okay, all right. EDC of the day before we start the shave of the day. My everyday carry today is by Riate. That's how you pronounce that. R-E-A-T-E. Riate. Yeah. S35VN steel. That's exactly what it has. A fantastic knife. This is the Horizon B folder, and it is buttery smooth. Comes out like a beast. Watch this. There's barely a little detent to catch that blade and keep it from opening up in your pocket. And the way that's done, for those of you that aren't into knives of this nature, tactical knives, they put a detent ball, it's like a little ball bearing right in there, and then they put a hole inside the blade. And so what happens is, when it comes to that point, it reaches that ball and it surpasses it and clicks right into the hole, and it almost sucks the blade back into the knife. The purpose, of course, is to, as I said earlier, keep the blade from opening up inside your pocket. Wouldn't want that, would we? This is a great knife, the Horizon B folder from Riate. They've come out with some new knives that I've noticed too. I think they have them featured on Blade HQ as one of the locations if you want to check that site out, bladehq.com. I have pre-shave oil on today for the shave of the day, and Clubman Pinod's beard oil. That's what I've got on. It does a fantastic job as a pre-shave. It moisturizes the skin as well as the beard hairs, making them stand up and be ready to be sheared off, and it's a great thing to use. The brush I'm using today is from, yeah, you got it, Edwin Jagger, or Jagger. Some people pronounce it differently. I always pronounce it Edwin Jagger, but or Jagger, it doesn't matter. It's a synthetic silver tip badger fiber. That's different, but it feels wonderful and it does an excellent job. The shave soap I'm using today is a little contradictory into what I'm going to be using as the aftershave. Yeah, Good Vibrations. That's what it is. Artisan shave soap. This is, of course, from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. And so is this from Crown King, of course. And this is Rustler's Ridge. That is one of my favorite aftershave colognes from the guys there. Douglas Smythe and the crew. Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements and Crown King. Excellent stuff. And Rustler's Ridge being one of my favorites, of course, I do have the shave soap that goes with it. That's what it looks like for those of you wondering. Excellent. Both of those are excellent. So why aren't I using that? I was wanting to use something that has a little spunk, get up and go. That's just what I'm looking for today. So different days you feel like different shave soaps, or I do at least. I haven't picked out my blade, but it's as easy or simple as leaning over and grabbing one of these from my buddy, the blind shaver, Billy. Yeah, Blind Billy, he calls himself. He sent me these Big Ben razor blades from the Lord Company of London, and that's where he lives. And these are actually made in Egypt, believe it or not. I'm using these today accompanied with this fantastic razor. Tell me what you think this one is. You should know. One of my favorites of all time, the Mercure Futur, or Merkur Future, some people call it. Everybody has their own version of names of what they want to use, and that's perfectly fine, because that's how this hobby works. You use what you want to use. There is no right, no wrong, because every person is different. Every person, everybody's got something to add. So that's great. That's the way it should be. Okay, this Merkur Futur is quite easy to use. You just flip off the top like this. You just push it up on the end. You don't want to drop it, so here we go. Push it up right there, and it just pops right off. Quite simple to add. Stick it back on, right like that. Same way to get off. Easy. It's an adjustable, by the way. So right there you can see the numbers, I hope. And you just twist it like that. It's best to set it on the setting before you put the blade in it. Here's the little nodule. I will put this on for today. And the blades I'm using are, of course, as I said, the Big Ben. These are super stainless, by the way. There you go. Pop it right in. And stick the top on. And this is the reasoning behind me saying what I just said about it being smarter to go ahead and adjust it. Once you have it inside, it's sort of difficult to grab it right here. To turn, you want to grab the top, but if the blade's in, you could cut yourself. And if you grab the ends, it could still slip. And we don't want that happening. So, all right, got the setting on 4. I have the pre-shave oil on. This sink really drains itself. It's draining me. No, seriously. I don't know what it is about this sink. Every time I put water in it and let it sit for a little while, it drains right out. So I'm going to heat the bristles up with some hot water, since all my hot water has leaked out, and just squeeze a bit of water out of this Edwin Jagger. Load up the brushes, or the bristles rather, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to show you the bowl I'm going to be using, my shave bowl today from the American Red Cross. Those guys are doing a lot of good as far as the hurricane goes, and I did make a contribution to the American Red Cross for the hurricane victims. And in Florida, no, I take that back, I'm sorry, in Houston when they were around Texas and the coast. You know, every little bit helps. If it's just a small amount, it doesn't matter. You give what you can give. And believe me, if everybody starts giving just what they can give, even if it's just $20, even if it's just 10 or 15 or 5 or $1, whatever. That smells great. Whatever you can give, you give it, okay? And I guarantee you're going to be helping somebody out. I promise you that. All right. I dripped a few drops inside. That's what it looks like starting out. Well, we want to whip up a good brisk lather that's real creamy, rich, and thick. And it won't take too long to do this with this particular brush. I'll be honest, as of late, I've truthfully enjoyed using my my boar bristle brushes. I don't know what it is, but I recently scored some more yard sale stuff. I'll be featuring that after it's cleaned up in a future video. I think I'm going to just put it inside the dishwasher and see how that turns out. I know it won't clean the bad spots off the razor, but that's okay. All right, this is really nice and thick, just like I wanted, and it feels great too. A little hot water. Heat up the bristles of the brush, going downward against the grain. That way it coats the whiskers very nicely. And I will have to whip up some more lather, but that's okay. I like to do it a little at a time instead of making one big bowl full of lather. Whatever works for you is fantastic. You do what works for you, okay? That's the way it should be, like I said earlier. Whatever works for you is fine. It's great, absolutely fine. Now, when it comes down to shaving with a straight razor, I said earlier there is no wrong or right way. Well, you know, you'll have to tread on that subject a little lightly when it comes down to straight razor shaving, because there are incredibly wrong ways to use a straight razor, and we will talk about that in the future. Okay, downward pass. I'm sort of in a hurry today. It's in the middle of the night or morning, a little past 3:30 a.m. All right, I'm sort of lining it out to the beard line. I want to wipe that off so I can see what I'm doing. Rinse the razor blade, flip it around to the opposite side. That looks pretty good, quite even. Just do a straight pass across the grain right there. Do the same on the opposite side now with the downward pass. Don't want to go too far into the beard line because I want it to match. So we'll wipe that off. Just check it out. Across the grain again, just to line it up. Yeah, you can tell it still has a few more passes that's needing to go down there because my beard tends to grow a lot thicker than, I guess, than what it may look like on the video. I'm not sure. Okay, like I said earlier, probably have to whip up some more lather. Got a little bit in the bowl, but nothing major. So I will dip the tips, just the tips of the bristles, load it up just a little more. And like I said before, you can make one huge bowl of lather if you want, whatever works for you. I like to do a little at a time, like I said. Loaded them up, put a few drops right inside. Whatever works is great. The up and down motion, the round and round, the reverse round and round. All kinds of fun you can have with this hobby. And it can be a hobby if you want it to be. I actually enjoy shaving. In fact, if I get the chance, the opportunity is there, then I'm really happy about it. But a lot of times these days, it's just like the opportunity doesn't present itself. You get sort of tied up with life and the busyness that comes along with it, and one thing leads to another. Just wiping the bristles off on the side of the bowl. Okay. A little lather there on the nostril. Okay, here we go again with the Mercure Futur. I didn't do above the mustache. I need to do that, so I'll just add a little right there. The area I just wiped off, I guess. Been watching the Three Stooges this morning. You can probably hear some of it in the background. I don't know why I didn't turn it off. Time constraints, like I said. Okay, I'll go ahead and do this underneath the beard line. Just trying to look them under there. I have a thicker growth pattern right underneath the beard line. I mentioned in some of my other shave videos that it's because of the neck beard I grew in high school. You know, you do some crazy things in school. That was one of them. A neck beard, that's what I call it. Because it didn't just grow the way it should have back then. And you know, you start way too early, as is usually the case. Okay, did underneath there, so now I'm going back to the beard line and going straight down, the downward pass. Over here, I rotate the blade around to the opposite side. Just a little bit right there. It always grows toward the Adam's apple. The side, just a tad amount right there. Nothing major. Get a little bit of shaving cream, a little lather, and put it around that area that's needed. I got myself right there. I cut it just a little nick there. Probably have to grab the alum bar out in a little bit. Great lather though. Douglas did a great job on that stuff there. Plenty of lather still in the brush, so. Rinse the blade. Now I'm doing the cross the grain. I forgot how sharp that blade was. I normally shave on a 3. Today I started on a 4. I figured I would be more gentle than I was, but you know, you get carried away. Going against the grain. Like I said, it sort of grows toward the Adam's apple. That's the only spot I really have any difficulties with. It's on either side. It's always that way. Very good. Just for added measure, that area that grows back thick, I will go ahead and just knock it off again. But that's it. I mean, a wonderful shave in a matter of minutes, less than 20 minutes to be precise. So what do you know? Didn't get to talk to you guys much today. It feels nice. Definitely needed a shave. Very nice. So, you know, I was thinking this morning, if you look outside at the trees, man, fall is just, it's sitting in on us, isn't it? It really is. Fall is just, I mean, it's almost here. I can't believe this. It was in August, and they're still doing it, of course. I won't mention the store because that would give them the that would give them the satisfaction in knowing that their plot worked, I guess, because I was helping them advertise it. But this one particular store that is not Walmart. Anyway, I'm closing the blade up in this because my wife seems to think the grandkids could find this blade inside the trash. I said, they don't go digging in the trash. But if they did, okay. This makes her happy, so happy wifey, happy lifey, right? Okay, there's that. I told you that nick I did earlier. Get the alum block out. I use the Razor Rock alum block. Razor Rock alum block. That's what I use. It doesn't matter what brand you use. They all, I think, basically do the same thing. Just wet it with some cold water. Going ahead and applying it to the remnants of the face that I haven't really required an alum block. Just in case there are some minute scratches or nicks that tend to come up afterwards. Rinse the block back off. I like to dry it a bit and then put it back inside. Lasts me 100 years. It will, I'm certain. And I know, guys, you probably do this. If not, you should. Do you clean the sink after you finish shaving? Or do you leave those little stubbies all over there for the wife to see? I know better than that. Because like I said, happy lifey, happy wifey, happy wifey, happy lifey. The two go hand in hand, don't they? All right. Rustler's Ridge to the rescue. As I mentioned earlier, this stuff is good. Crown King Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. I'm going to start with the neck. Ooh, that binds, that binds, it binds. But I need some there. And I don't want to put it on the back of my neck, although I like to slather it on. Is because I've got to go and do some stuff with the wife this morning, and I don't want to have too much on because she loves the scent, don't get me wrong. But if I have on too much, she says, too much gives her a headache. So don't want to do that. I have to find a happy medium. I got news for you, folks. You can quote me on this. Hunter Green said, Mark McLean, alias, there is no happy medium. If you're married, at least. I mean, I love marriage. Marriage is an institution. That's what they tell me. But who wants to be institutionalized, right? I'm joking. Come on. I don't think my wife will see this video, or I wouldn't have said that, right? Okay. That's what I'm using today. Good vibrations. Artisan shave soap, that's excellent. And the Crown King Rustler's Ridge. Nope, wrong one. Sorry. There you go. Good stuff. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much for being there. We're getting the band back together. Joking. Take care, guys. Be good to one another. Be good to your neighbors. Be good to your friends. And be good to those that aren't good to you. Just to spite them. Peace, everybody. Have a great evening. Or a day. Or morning. Whatever it may be.